What's up? Welcome to my next video. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to draw a face of the human head. Right now, I'm drawing different shapes. So I'm going to start drawing a box, and then I'm going to start drawing circles, and I'll start drawing them forward and then backwards to kind of warm up the hand, to get the hand real loose, because I want to make sure that I get some decent shapes without having it too forced. I want to make sure all my shapes are loose and fluid. That's what I'm drawing. A lot of the boxes, I'm drawing some of them perspective. I may just play around and draw a lot of different things just to play around and sample around with. And this is usually when I have use a lot of my cheap paper for this usually, but since I'm doing it on an iPad, I can just go crazy with it and just swipe my fingers across and it's gone. You can also practice doing these shapes even if you don't plan on drawing that day. Just the more you practice them, the better at it you get, and you can actually get better at drawing just by doing this. And right now I did like a little perspective horizon line and screen, just throwing in some boxes. Now for this, I'm starting to make the boxes pretty dark. I'm just throwing some shadow in there. I mean, again, I'm not really practicing shadow. I'm just messing with the pressure. Well, I guess mainly with the pressure on the Apple Pencil. I'm going to erase this and let's start making the head. Now first, you're going to start out making the circle. Then the line in between, the guidelines for where the eyes are going to be, the middle of the head, one for the nose, and also a line for the chin. Now we're going to start doing the sides of the face to kind of define the head a little bit more. For the cheeks. Working in the ridge for the nose. Kind of put a box where the nose is going to be, and also kind of that bottom nose line to indicate where your eye is. The eye is usually right at the top of that nose. It's kind of like you're drawing the skull, like based off of what it is when you're drawing the skull, and you're kind of just focusing on recreating that. The best option before you draw a face is to learn how to draw a skull from different angles. And then once you get the grasp of how the skull is, then you can add detail layers to the outside of it to form a face. So right now I'm adding the eyes, putting the eyes right in that little socket, since the eyeball is bigger than the socket anyway. So kind of put it there that's kind of a placement. In the middle of the eye, the line goes down, and usually that line is indication of where the end of the mouth will be. And working in the ear. when you're doing this, just play around with it. You can make people have different faces. You can it could be lopsided or whatever. But just especially if you're just learning, you just play around with it. You can make the face sag or whatever. It can be an old person's face or a young person's face. It doesn't really make a difference. It can be like a cartoon character. It doesn't matter if you're especially if you're just practicing. Right now I'm adding the eyes right below the bottom, because that little bulge where the eyeball is where the eyelid is smaller. So I'm adding in the nose right now. I'm detailing it. Right now I'm adding a little bit of features in there. Get the eyebrows in. And I'm working in the mouth, just a straight line across, kind of like a little triangle in the middle, or upside down triangle tip. You can also look at reference or look at yourself in the mirror when you're making one of these. So right now I'm just adding the neck down. Usually when the neck comes directly from the bottom of that ear all the way down. Inside muscle. The little chin. As you can see, when I'm making the chin, you can kind of see how I'm following the pattern of the skull when I'm going around. And usually it depends on the face that you're doing. I mean, this guy's older guy's pretty lean, so you can kind of see his cheekbone. I'm also adjusting the head to make the head a little bit bigger. Because sometimes you have to make little small adjustments. Right now I'm just refining it a little bit, targeting some of the lines, adding in a little more detail. I'm going to try working the pupils. Use the pupil. The pupil don't sit in the middle of the eye. The pupil usually sit kind of in the top of the eye and then a little bit down, but it's never really in the middle of the eye. I guess I say the eyeball or the pupil goes just like kind of slightly up. Darkening the mouth and a little more, defining the lips a little bit more. Now I'm trying to throw in the hair. Usually with the hair, you can add whatever style you want based on how you do hair or whatever you want to add to it, but I'm not really adding any detail to it. I'm just kind of putting an indication of where I know the hair is gonna go. So at a later time, if I wanted to revisit it, I can go back into it and add details to it. And even when you're working on a female head, the female head is a little bit rounder, and I'll make a video of that at a different time, showing the difference between the male head and the female head. But the female head is a lot rounder and doesn't have as much square shapes as the male head does. And I'm just throwing in some random strands of hair. I'm not really just going in a different direction. The hair kind of just flows wherever it goes, and I'm kind of just going with it. And with this portion, I'm kind of just detailing the face, adding wrinkles and shading to the cheeks, and I think I have a few references that I'm looking at while I'm doing this to kind of not have it look exactly like the person that I'm drawing it from. So that's why I have multiple reference pictures to look at. I'm just nitpicking from different ones to certain things I might like from one, I can pull from the other, and certain things I might like from the other one, I pull from the other one. I kind of just throw it together and form to make my own person. I think I took the eyes off of one picture, and then nose off of one picture, and then the mouth off of one picture, the cheeks off of a different picture. That's one thing about the iPad, is I don't have to keep using paper, going through paper, and with the iPad I can just erase it or save it into my file and be done with it, not going through too many sketchbooks. And there you have it. Structure of a head.